Probably the single most common question people ask me is, how did you come to live and work in Thailand? I've been here for over 23 years now, and I originally came to work in a video studio. My background is in photography, and I came to work as a photographer in a video studio. That lasted a fairly short while, and I transitioned into other things. Still working in photography, but then also accommodating working in video. I found that it was a very practical tool for me to be able to use to help people here. Most of the time that I was working here, I was managing a multimedia company producing photography and video and doing some writing and doing some websites and stuff like that as well. But most of the video work I was doing was to help people who were helping others. I was mainly working with people and organisations that were helping the underprivileged and the poor and such like. And so this work I found to be extremely satisfying, extremely rewarding, in that I was helping other people. And most of the people that those people were helping were hill tribe communities. So people in the Aka or the Hmong or the Lahu or the Karen people and others that are generally somewhat underprivileged and not really having the same status in Thailand. So I've done a lot of work in areas about education, about business training, and we even did some work with an organisation that were focused on helping hill tribe peoples obtain their Thai national identity. Many of the hill tribe peoples live in remote places, and they don't always get the documentation sorted out so easily. So this organisation was set up to come alongside hill tribe peoples that hadn't managed to get hold of their identity cards and help them through the bureaucratic process. And this might seem a fairly small thing for many people, but as we talked to the hill tribe people who had gained their identities, who had got their national ID card, they were overwhelmed. They were so thrilled because it has a huge impact on their life and their freedom to move freely and live in Thailand. Yeah, all of the hill tribe groups have been in existence before the current political land borders, and yeah, they live fairly fluidly, or have done in the past, across the region, regardless of where the international boundaries might be. Because these areas have been their ancestral homelands, this is where they're used to living, and some of them are fairly nomadic. Other situations, we've been involved in creating videos to highlight the work that's being done by an organisation that will then help them raise funding to continue the work. One of the main areas that this happens is in hostels for children who come from the hill tribe villages. Often in the mountains there's no schools in the villages, or if there are schools, they're pretty small and fairly ill-equipped. So there's a number of organisations that help to build and maintain and run hostels for children in the lower lands, in the bigger towns and cities, where the children can come and live and be looked after in the hostel by hostel parents, and then attend the local schools that are better equipped, better funded, and have better teachers. And it's been quite thrilling over the years to see some of these students to progress through the system and then go on to tertiary education in Chiang Mai. And I've done other work down south around Phuket and Ranong with the sea gypsy peoples. They're not hill tribes, but they're definitely marginalised people. And we were working on some language content for them in their own languages and their mother tongues. So it's very fulfilling work. But I think the most fulfilling, the most enjoyable work I did was working with an international organisation that helps to set up loans and train people to run businesses. It's not really a microloan system. It's gone beyond that. It's more developed. And they had a whole system in place where people could come and apply for a loan. One of the criteria was that they must have a solid business plan, and if they didn't know how to do this, the organisation would train them and teach them and work with them to develop a business plan before they provided them the loan. And I was able to interview people and communicate with people that had reap the benefits in their lives. One guy in particular, a refugee from Laos who came to Thailand with basically nothing, and without this loan, without this business plan help, he would never have been able to get ahead in life. But when we videoed him, when we talked to him, he was in the process of building a house. He owned a nice truck, he had a motorcycle, he had set his wife up with a sewing machine to run her own business, and it was just an absolute joy to see the help that was being given and how that it was being so well received and so practical. And these people said, oh, this is so much better than just receiving a handout, because it gives us pride that we can do this ourselves, that we can make a living with our own hands, with our own thinking, with our own giftings, and we don't have to rely on receiving handouts anymore. And of course, to receive feedback like this is so heartwarming. It's incredible to hear people say that with this little bit of help, it's encouraged them and enabled them to get ahead in life. And this has been an amazing part of the work for me. It's never paid particularly well, but the benefits are far and above anything that money could buy, when I can see that what I've been involved in is helping other people have a better life. And this is something that has always really encouraged and motivated me. And if you'd like to see another video of how I've worked together with Hill Tribe groups, taking photos of them, making beautiful portraits, please check out this video next. Thanks very much for watching.